Who from whoking.com, and I'm a Christian, or I'd like to say I'm a Christian. I do my best to do whatever I can to be a true Christian. One thing that I think is required of all Christians to do is to read their Bibles every day, and for some reason I haven't been able to be doing that consistently. I think it's a lot of various reasons, but I'd like to start a new project in the next 30 days, and it's to read the book of Proverbs. September has only 30 days, but we'll just pretend that it has 31. The book of Proverbs is one of my favorite books in the Bible. I've read it a couple of times, but what I want to do in this little video slash episode is to read it, share my insights, and try to learn from the Word of God, and hopefully you learn something too. And so today we'll go to my favorite Bible website. It's BibleGateway.com, and I will just write down Proverbs 1 because today is September 1st, 2009, and this is the first day of me recording my quiet times on video, and hopefully I'll be able to do it consistently for at least 30 days, and if it works well, I'd like to do it for the rest of my life. So, Proverbs 1, the NIV version. The subtitle is Prologue, Purpose and Theme. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel, for attaining wisdom and discipline, for understanding words of insight, for acquiring a disciplined and prudent life, doing what is right and just and fair, for giving prudence to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the young. Let the wise listen and add to their learning, and let the discerning get guidance. For understanding proverbs and parables, the sayings of the riddles of the wise. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and discipline. Exhortations to embrace wisdom, warning against enticement. Verse 8. Listen, my son, to your father's instruction, and do not forsake your mother's teaching. They will be a garland to grace your head, and a chain to adorn your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, do not give in to them. If they say, come along with us, let's lie in wait for someone's blood. Let's waylay some harmless soul. Let's swallow them alive like the grave, and whole like those who go down to the pit. We will get all sorts of valuable things and fill our houses with plunder. Throw in your lot with us, and we will share a common purse. My son, do not go along with them. Do not set foot on their paths, for their feet rush into sin. They are swift to shed blood. How useless to spread a net in full view of all the birds. These men lie in wait for their own blood. They waylay only themselves. Such is the end of all who go after ill-gotten gain. It takes away the lives of those who get it. Subheading: Warning against rejected wisdom. Wisdom calls aloud in the street. She raises her voice in the public squares. At the head of the noisy streets, she cries out. In the gateways of the city she makes her speech. How long will you, simple ones, love your simple ways? How long will mockers delight in mockery and fools hate knowledge? If you had responded to my rebuke, I would have poured out my heart to you, and made my thoughts known to you. But since you rejected me when I called, and no one gave heed when I stretched out my hand, since you ignored all my advice and would not accept my rebuke, I in turn will laugh at your disaster. I will mock when calamity overtakes you. When calamity overtakes you like a storm, when disaster sweeps over you like a whirlwind, when distress and trouble overwhelm you. When they call to me, but I will not answer, they will look for me, but will not find me. Since they hated knowledge and did not choose to fear the Lord, since they would not accept my advice and spurn my rebuke, they will eat the fruit of their ways and be filled with the fruit of their schemes. For the waywardness of the simple will kill them, and the complacency of fools will destroy them. But whoever listens to me will live in safety and be at ease, without fear or of harm. So that's chapter 1 of Proverbs. I'm going to go back over it line by line and then kind of share my thoughts. And hopefully I can get something out of this, and hopefully you can get something out of this for those of you who are taking the time to listen and watch this video. So verse 1, the Proverbs of Solomon, son of the king of David. So this is just, in the past they didn't have like headings or whatever, so this is just David saying, I'm writing this. And the purpose was to attain wisdom and discipline, to understand words of insight, to acquire a disciplined and prudent life, to do what's right, just and fair, to give prudence. Prudence is like making wise decisions to the simple, and knowledge and discretion to the young. Let the wise listen and add to their learning, and let the discerning get guidance. for understanding proverbs and parables, the sayings and the riddles of the wise. So essentially, it's to become wiser, to become smarter, make better judgments. That's what the book of Proverbs was originally written for. And David begins with verse 7: The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and discipline. So if you fear God, that's where knowledge begins. And if you, according to David, if you despise wisdom and discipline, you are a fool. So in some ways, I am still a fool. I have a huge issue with discipline because I can't do my quiet times consistently, so I can learn from the Bible. But we're trying to change that here. Warning against enticement. So this is a warning. So that way, do actually, what does enticement mean? Enticement is temptation. So don't be enticed by other things. So listen to your father's instruction and do not forsake your mother's teaching. So I think that just goes back to respect your parents. And if you respect your parents, listen to them, they will be a garland of grace to your head and a chain to adorn your neck. I think that's pretty cool. My son, if sinners entice you, do not give in to them. I think this is just not everybody's a sinner, so you know that. But I think it's specifically talking about when somebody's doing something bad. So don't do something bad. If someone tempts you, say, "Come along with us. Let's lie in wait for someone's blood. Let's waylay some harmless soul." I think here it's talking about murder as well as theft. But I think this goes along with any kind of sin, essentially. And I think it would have been awesome if some of the some of the people who had some integrity read this stuff, like, so that we could have avoided this whole Wall Street thing. Anyways, essentially it says don't steal from others, don't try to kill others, don't hurt others. And if you try to do something bad, in verse 17 it says, "How useless to spread a net in full of view of all the birds." So a bird will not be tricked. Actually, I'm not exactly sure what verse 17 is. If you happen to know, please send me an email or write a comment. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. These men lie in wait for their own blood. They waylay on themselves. I think this is just talking about, what goes around comes around. I think it's God's way of justice. So, yeah, verse 19 is the same thing. Such is the end of all who go after ill-gotten gain. It takes away the lives of those who get it. So what goes around comes around. So not only should you be careful of temptation, you should also be wary of rejecting wisdom. So it's just stupid to reject getting advice or rebuking. So wisdom is always calling out to us, according to what David says. And at the head of the noise, she cries out, she's asking for it. And then, how long of you simple ones will love your simple ways? How long will mockers delight in mockery and fools hate knowledge? I don't know why we do that. Humans in general, why do we keep making the same mistakes over and over again? Let's not become a simple one anymore, or let's not be a mocker anymore. Let's respond to the rebuke and learn the thoughts of wisdom. So this is wisdom talking. But since you rejected me and I called, no one gave heed, and I stretched out my head. She talks about, if you ignore me, I'm going to ignore you, and in fact, I'm going to laugh at you. I in turn will laugh at your disaster. In verse 26, I will mock when calamity overtakes you. And then eventually, 28, then they will call to me, and I will not answer. They will look for me, but they will not find me. So I want to avoid getting into bigger problems and just do my best to listen to wisdom. And I hope this podcast or this episode or whatever this thing is going to be will be a time for you to gain wisdom, discernment, knowledge. Because I'm just going to be reading it and sharing my thoughts and trying to listen to what we can do. For the waywardness of the simple will kill them. So but she promises that if you listen to me, uh, you will live in safety and be at ease without fear of harm. So fear God, respect God, and listen to wisdom. I guess if there's one thing that you can think about for the rest of today is search for wisdom, stay away from temptations. I think those are maybe the two things that we can consolidate Proverbs chapter 1. So thanks for watching.